You smell that? It smells like mega sluicing day. That's right, it was back to the creek with my oversized sluice box to see if I could dig up some more gold and make a spectacular mess of burning it. As soon as I put the video up using my mega sluice, I had heaps of comments suggesting improvements and ways that I could make this better, and I've listened to all of them, but for now we're going to run the old version. Because it's literally only 12 hours since I built this monstrosity. For those of you who don't know, this is chipboard with a polyurethane coating. It's going to die in probably 2 or 3 runs. Pine, lightly coated, also going to die in a couple of runs. To hold my matting in, I'm just using block wedges with screws to create the tension. And this lovely material is marine carpet. I like it because it has riffles. First 3 words that come to your mind when you look at the giant sluice. Big. All 3? Yeah. So we've dragged this out miles into the bush. Is there any gold here?
I don't know.
Setting the mega sluice up is not an exact science. We kind of just drop it into the water and hope for the best. Don't boat away on me. I'm a full-blown lumberjack today, holy crap. Poor Gadsy's still on the hunt for golds. But the point of the mega sluice is not necessarily the best gold, it's about fun. And boy, have I had a lot of hard work today. And I like hard work, so I'm having fun. Anyway, the bedrock in this section here is like this mudstone stuff. I think it's actually decaying sandstone, which is really interesting. We're going to dig around here because I've taken a test pan and I got a really nice flake off the back edge. So really, I don't know what we're going to get today, but I'm going to dig and we're going to see what happens. All right. And we just give it a mix because we're allowed to do that because we're adults. All right, so just watch here. It's already forming. Look at it. Look.
Whoa. Yeah, I see.
I've never seen that in a sluice box before. Like occasionally you'll see black sand go down, but just not like that. This paint job is premium. I am not in the spot that I wanted to take you guys to today. Unfortunately, we've had to move spots because of water. The water is really weird right now. We haven't had too much rain, but this particular creek is up and we had to come to the flattest, widest section of it to even be able to access it, because downstream and upstream of this point, it narrows and it's in full flood. Right now, I'm just happy to be feeding the mega sluice and be out in the creek enjoying myself. So we'll get to grips with how to set this up better, some improvements we can make, and with a little bit of luck, in the near future, we'll be able to take it to a really good spot. So much of reality TV gold prospecting shows, as well as the stuff on YouTube, focuses on the monetary value of how much gold you can dig out. Hell, I've been guilty of this exact same thing, so I wanted to return to a more simple version of gold prospecting. One that focuses on the fun and enjoyment of hanging out with your mates and going broke digging up money. There's no point dragging a mega sluice all the way out into the bush and just feeding it tin.
Oh, tin's good.
Feeding to cat food. So I tracked the black sand and gold from across that other bank through to where my sluice box is, and there's about 4 or 5 all the way across, and then it starts getting richer through here. I found gold out in the middle, and then Gadsy was like, why don't you check where those big rocks are? He was right. I went from 3 to 5 specks a pan all the way up to about 30 to 50. And they're not terrible particle size. Not terrible party size. Get in the sluice.
Get in the sluice.
That pan came out from there, but I want to know if there's gold running this way. I can already tell this is going to be a good pan because I'm seeing gold at the back. And I've got heaps of black sand in there. A gift! Oh. Alright, good sir. This is from that other side channel. Yeah, there's good gold in that. I've spread it out everywhere. Hang on. It's not as good as the other spot in the fast water, but it's better than 5.
Yeah.
I need my buckets because I'm not going to take one shovel and walk it to the sluice. I'm going to take 5 or 6 shovels, walk into the sluice and tip the buckets down, because that's what I built the mega sluice for. Bucket tipping. That's right, because Gazzy left his mega shovel at home, it was up to me to fill and tip buckets down the sluice. Exactly what I had built this sluice for. What was 7 seconds for you was 3 minutes and 27 seconds for me, meaning I can process 20 litres of dirt, or 2 buckets, in 3.5 minutes, including digging them. There are 6 shovels per bucket. Gold, right there. Very tip of my fingers, a little flaky of gold moving around. And another one. Oh, these are so light. This is the most exciting part. I want to build one of these big enough that I could like tip a wheelbarrow's worth of pay dirt onto it and then walk away and go dig another wheelbarrow at once. But I reckon it'd need to be like 12 foot wide instead of whatever this is. This is the best bit. You see all the dirt starts streaming away and all the black sand just comes out. Senor Sweatpants is apparently up for a renaming.
A renaming?
Yes. You see, many years ago, Gadzi cooked one of his phones in his pocket because he turned his pants into a sweaty sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Microwave pants.
Yeah. So hence Senor Sweatpants. But today, he's added in a water cooling system by punching a hole in his boot. Mystery hole boot.
Just know I'm getting soggy foot.
Well, you're now Senor Wet Pants. You may rise.
Oh no, that does not sound. That's worse than sweatpants.
Senor Sweaty Wet Pants.
Sweat and wet's the same. Wet and sweat.
With Gadzi appropriately renamed, it was back to the Mega Sluice to check if I could see any more gold in the mat, and obviously to tip a whole lot more dirt down it. Nice little pocket of gold going on here. Now, I've used a lot of sluice boxes in my time and they all have their benefits visually. It's really fun watching a sluice box work, but this is something else. It's hypnotizing, mesmerizing. It's just amazing watching that black sand form at the back and also how smooth the dirt runs over the box. The one thing absolutely every Mega Sluice owner is going to tell you is not only with the Mega Sluice can you produce mega amounts of gold and move mega amounts of dirt, but you also get a mega saw back. That is a monster to feed. I've fed 12 buckets of dirt through it in an hour. That's 120 litres of soil. That's 31.7 freedom units for those of you in the US who use anything but the metric system.
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything. Why?
That sluice is 15 hamburgers wide.
That's a good burger size.
What do you reckon the cleanup job's going to be like?
Yeah. bit cleaning.
For such a cheap sluice box, I am super surprised at how well this thing works. It just goes to show you don't really need much to get out in the bush and have a bit of fun. Yeet. Yeah, I've seen plenty of gold in it. It just seems to bury itself real deep in the mat. Ah, it's a shotgun pellet. Hey! It's a bit too big to wash this out in the field, so we're going to fold it up and take it home. That's not heavy at all. It's so light. Alright, get in the green bucket. This is vaguely like one of those arcade games where I'm going to put a thing in and you got to try and figure out which slot it's going to land in because it's all twisted. Alright, we can go with more water. Yeah! I'd say we got a good 50% of that. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is just what was on the bed of the Mega Sluice, so I'm fairly confident we're going to see some gold in the mats too if that was just on the bed. Damn! The problem with a Mega Sluice is that it gives you a mega amount of concentrate, so we're going to hose it out. I reckon hosing it out is going to be the easiest way to do this. A bigger tub would honestly be the easiest way to do this, but we don't have a bigger tub. Power!
Because I live in Australia, we have pretty strict water restrictions. I don't want to waste too much water doing this, so I'm going to reuse a whole heap of this later on the garden, and I'm not going to keep hosing it out to overfill the bucket.
The hosing definitely got like a lot of material out of those riffles. They were all full, but I believe we've got to the stage where it's just going to be a rough, vigorous slapping.
But for now, let's find out what's in the blue bucket.
Reedy Creek is definitely not known for its large pieces of gold. In fact, most of the gold I dig out of Reedy Creek is under 30 mesh.
And because it's super flat gold and it's mixed with cassiterite, which is tin ore, which is non-magnetic and also very heavy, I'm thinking we're going to classify it to 30 mesh.
Let's find out how much water I can spill on my patio. Like a lot by the looks of it. If I'm really lucky, there'll be a couple of good sized flakes in this material, but I'll check that later. 99% of all my gold is definitely in here. There ain't no way in hell that I am going to be able to pan this off. So we're going to use, I think, the Miller table, but we'll just try and wash off some of the lighter blonde sands first, because that'll make my job a lot easier. If you would like to develop mad panning skills like this and be able to process dirt at lightning speed, all you have to do is sun your butthole twice a day at noon. But if you're not into showing your butthole to the sun god Ra, and you want to keep friendly relations with your neighbours, perhaps checking out the links I've left in the description below may help you purchase the right panning kit, and you can just learn to do it the old-fashioned way. This is my Miller table. It's made by ROE.
These work almost exactly the same as the Mega Sluice.
A small pump delivers water to a chamber with a water leveler in it. And the water leveler is nothing more than miner's moss that evenly distributes a very thin layer of water across a bed. This bed is made from a special kind of plastic that provides a very small amount of friction. Now, I've since gone over that with a little bit of sandpaper and roughed it up slightly more. And the idea is, with a very controlled thin sheet of water, it'll move off the black sand, but the gold will remain sitting on the bed.
And voila! Clean gold.
Been a little while since this has been turned on, so fingers crossed everything still works. Look at that. Straight away, we've got our first little pieces of gold. Now hold up, wait a minute. I know this looks like it's going to be very tedious and slow doing 1 teaspoon at a time, but let me explain first. I just had a sudden realization that I couldn't see what I was doing, so we got a lamp. And whilst it's not 100% clean, it's pretty close. I can finish the rest off in a pan. For now, this goes in the vial. Hand panning is extraordinarily tedious, and this is just that little bit faster than hand panning and also more accurate so long as you've got your bed set up properly. Everything in gold mining is about consistency. If you are consistent within your methodology on how you extract gold out of the creek and how you clean it up, you'll go fast. As soon as you bring inconsistency into any of the systems, you lose efficiency. And efficiency comes from being able to do everything in gold prospecting smoothly. Don't get me wrong, I know there are people out there right now looking at this thinking, Jesus, that's a really slow way of cleaning up gold, but mathematically speaking, it's a little bit faster than panning, about twice as fast, and it's more accurate, as in it's easier to recover this kind of gold out of black sand on a Miller table than it is on a pan or even a blue bowl. At any rate, I was seeing little pieces of gold come out of the concentrates, and I was having a whole bunch of fun pushing it into the hole. This kind of muddy little vial I've got here is our concentrate. I haven't used it in so long it started making its own algae bloom. It's not a massive amount, but it's not too bad considering the spot that I was digging. Now obviously I could remove those impurities just panning, but burning things with fire is way more fun. I'm actually going to make the smelting process into a completely separate video, so if you want to see that,
make sure you're subscribed and you got the bell notification turned on. And on that note, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the patrons and channel members who have jumped on over the last month. Without your support, I can't do what I do to the same level. All of the money that gets raised on Patreon and on my channel memberships gets directly reinvested back into doing videos just like this one. There are links in the description below if you're interested in signing up. We do giveaways and early video releases as well as patron and member only live streams every single month. But there are other ways that you can support creators without jumping onto Patreon or signing up for channel membership. All you have to do is hit the like button and leave a comment, because that helps push the videos into new people's feeds.
I went to melt the gold, and that's the gold that came out of the slag when I got rid of the slag. And this is a precious metal bead that I managed to recover. Yeah, it turned silver, and I don't know why. I have a full video in the works of me melting this down. I still don't understand what happened. I do not get why it turned silver, because there was no other contaminants in there that should have done this. But that is our mega sluice gold, so we better get it on the scales. I'm not going to bother adding those few crumbs there. I'm assuming that's probably a 0.02 or a 0.3. But as for our precious metal bead, I'm going to guess maybe a 0.1? 0.15. So including the loose powder and stuff, that's about 15 bucks worth of gold. I'm pretty sure I lost a whole bunch in the smelt somehow. Magic. We're going with dark magic.